Green Bay faithful, talking with me on a chase for a Super Bowl. Fans still suck, let me let you know. We're the kings, bringing trophies home. Cheeseheads, me living this. Victory tastes sweeter than licorice. Got that Lamborghini spirit. Opponents just fear it. Y'all can hear it now.
Up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. This is the Ramage Show. We have a great guest today. We got Diesel, known on Twitter over there, and we're going to talk about. We got some schedule leaks. We're going to talk about some rookies. We're going to talk some Green Bay Packers stuff, and obviously we're going to get involved. Everyone in the chat. You know what I mean? Big shout out to Justin being the first comment of the show. I appreciate y'all tuning in. This will also be like on the podcast. It's going to be on the audio, Apple, Spotify, all places that you listen to podcasts. Be sure to go over there and subscribe. And if you're watching over on Facebook, be sure to go over on YouTube and subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. I'm trying to, build that YouTube thing over there. You know what I mean? It's tough. YouTube's a tough land. Tom Grassi lives over there. And he pretty much runs that show. But we're gonna have a good conversation, good times tonight. But before we get into that, guest is gonna be here in just a couple minutes. But I want to give a shout out to the sponsors of the show, Mr. Nicolay Law, Russ Nicolay. If you get injured in an accident and you can't work, you know what I mean? That's gonna cause a big problem for you. And if you call Nicolay Law, they're gonna make sure that the insurance companies give you what you're due, especially like missing work and whatnot. And you want to deal with people who are real people, not just like robots. You know what I mean? And Nicolay Law, that's what they are. They're real people. They care about you. They want the best for you. So be sure to check out Nicolay Law. Go to nicolaylaw.com if you get injured in an accident or you know someone that's injured in an accident, and they're going to take care of you. And also, this episode fueled by Quick Trip. You come into a game this season, or maybe this summer, you're coming to visit Door County, or you're coming to Wisconsin land, you know what I mean? And the Quick Trips are all over the place over here, and they're gonna have the food, the hot spot ready. They got the beer. They got, if you're tailgating, if you're coming next season, they got all the hookups for you. They got everything that you want in a gas station plus more. So big shout out to Quick Trip. Big shout out to Nicolay Law being fantastic sponsors. All right, so we're waiting on Diesel to get over here, but the Packers, I think there was like 2 games leaked. I don't want to get too deep into it because I want to do that when he's here. So hammer the chat and let's chit chat before he gets here. But yeah, I think this tomorrow, actually, while we're waiting, I'll say this. Tomorrow is a schedule release at 7 p.m. Central Time. I think I'm going to go live for that. Maybe I'll have a guest with me for that and talk about, as the schedule is being released. I think there's a lot of leaks today. There'll probably be more leaks tomorrow. I think the schedule release is at 7. So by then, I think we're probably going to know. But I'm going to do some type of live stream tomorrow, hangout, and see what's going on. But let's get to some comments here. Go Pack, go. What's up, James? How you doing over here? And then we got Justin. I'm still hoping the Packers have a week 1 home game. And from what I heard, they don't. I don't know for sure. I seen someone on Twitter talking about it, saying like it's another year of no home game for the Packers. Week 1 wise. And then we got Brad. He said, "Let's talk Giannis." Yeah, that's a big topic. I'm not like smart enough in the NBA world to like know what's going on, but I will say this about Giannis real quick while we wait for the guests to get over here. Is that I feel like everyone outside of Wisconsin wants Giannis gone. The same thing like with Aaron Rodgers, same thing with Brett Favre. I feel like everyone always wants superstars out of Green Bay. They always are talking about it. Giannis, I seen a report, they're like, well, this is the first time he's actually like talking about it. Like, dude, every offseason, every basketball offseason, that's all I hear about is Giannis is leaving. I mean, not every offseason, but after he signed that contract. But I just feel like ESPN, I feel like the powers that be, like the talking heads, whatnot, they want him out of Milwaukee, and I hope he stays. I'm not a huge basketball guy, but I support the Bucks. I like the Bucks. Going to Bucks games is awesome. Giannis obviously huge. Don't leave. Bring some folks in. Win another championship. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna check this real quick to see any updates on when the old guest is gonna be here. He should be here any minute. All right. We'll keep waiting. You know what I mean? I'm a patient fellow. But yeah, Giannis, what do you think, Brad? Let me know. Um, I hope he doesn't leave. I have no like where I can say I think he's gonna do this. I think he's gonna do that. I have no idea. But I think Giannis is awesome. Not just on the court. I think he's good for Wisconsin. He's good for wherever he's at. Hopefully he stays. But anyways, we got ourselves a Green Bay Packers situation here. Talk. I won't say a talk show, but it's definitely a show. We're waiting on Mr. Diesel to show up. But yeah, so I'm actually just gonna get started. I got some banners over here I put together, and we'll he'll be here any minute, and then we'll get that. So we got some schedule uh leaks kind of happening right here. Full 25 Packers schedule release is Wednesday, May 14th at 7 p.m. Central Time. So tomorrow night I'll probably go live again when we get all of it confirmed. But right here, hopefully he gets here quick because I'm going to start without him. Week 10. This is what I'm hearing. Monday night, Packers versus the Eagles at Lambeau Field. November 10th. What is this? Oh yeah, so that's November 10th at 7:15. That's Monday Night Football. So if that's real, I think that's going to be a big game. It's going to be in November. We're going to kind of know how teams are doing. At that time of the year, like um, are they like a winning team? Are they a losing team? I think both these teams are going to be pretty good record wise. But I think I don't buy the whole revenge game thing though. I see people posting about it like this is revenge for last year. Like, no, I don't think there's any revenge. Jordan Love got hurt in that game. It was overseas. The Eagles went on to win the Super Bowl, so like I feel like I don't see any type of revenge on that. But what do you guys think about this game? I'm gonna leave this up so I want people to have a time to chime in on this. You know what I mean? But we got some comments too. Hi Matt, was looking for you at Stadium View at the draft. Sorry we missed you. Great time at draft for sure. Yeah, I was over at Stadium View quite a ton during that draft. So sorry I missed you for sure. Let's get to another one over here from Kyle. Better fields better field than before. Yeah. Yeah, that was a whole rough situation over there. But yeah, I think yeah, like I say, that's gonna be November, so we're gonna have a good idea like what both these teams are doing, right? We're gonna have an idea. I assume the Eagles are gonna be doing pretty good. I think the Packers are gonna be doing good too. I know the Packers have a tough schedule. We don't know the dates yet, but we know like who they're gonna play pretty much. And I think that they're gonna be it's gonna be a battle, but I think this Packers team is gonna be better. I definitely think that. All right, so I'm gonna check on this to see when Diesel's gonna be here because I don't want to keep I don't want to do the whole thing without him. He's doing another show. I think he said. Yeah, he said he'll be right here. That was a minute ago, so we will see. But yeah, I think Monday Night Football playing the former Super Bowl champions from the past year. I think that's gonna be good. It's gonna be a good test. Like we will see like what the Packers schedule looks like as far as like who they played to that point, what division games were played because we don't know all the details on that. And I think that at that point it's gonna be a big game. I think probably for both teams. But Eagles fans, dude, Eagles fans are funny to me because I'll talk about this while we wait. Eagles fans were like, they're still like butthurt about the Packers making a big thing about the tush push, but like a lot of teams wanted the tush push banned. The Packers were just a team that like spoke up, and the other teams like, yeah, we don't like it either. You know what I mean? And so like, but like every year, people, teams, GMs, the owners, Mark Murphy, whoever, they have a rules committee, and they have people say, hey, I think this should be a rule. This rule should change. This should happen. Every year it happens, but like this year the Packers talk about the tush push, and everyone like Eagles fans. I know Jersey folks. I know Eagles fans. They're all pretty cool. They're all not people I want to be on the wrong side of. You know what I mean? I'm gonna add the guests over here. Then we're gonna continue this conversation. Hey, what's up, man?
I'm good, brother. How are you, man?
I don't know why you're not coming across my headphones.
What?
It'll work. I'll just take my headphones off. So what's good, man?
I'm good, brother. How you been, man? How's everything going with you?
I am fantastic, dude. We were just talking right here about the Eagles. We got
Okay, okay.
we got some schedule leaks over here. But first of all, we'll get right back in there. But I want to introduce you. Diesel, right? People
I'm a
know who you
diesel.
are. That's why I say
Hey.
I'm calling you Diesel. It's Diesel. Is that your real name, or is that like code because you have a good job and you don't want to mess it up on Twitter?
That's it. That's code. Yeah, it's code, so people can't search me up, baby. You know how it goes.
I got a real job. I ain't having you mess my.
I don't know about all that, but I definitely put that out there, so I'm a little bit hard. But everyone knows my name's Ummer, so yeah. So I last name is Desai, but yeah, I just do Diesel because the nickname of me growing up in high school, I was probably this height, 6'3", but I was like 130 pounds soaking wet. So the nickname was Diesel because I was far from it. Because they couldn't say Desai. So like, oh, here comes Ummer Diesel. And I'm just this, guy that can just fly away with the wind kind of thing, right? And then let's just say I was motivation to get bigger and stronger to where I am a little bigger now. But I just kept it up. I was like, all right, well, I guess I'm a little Diesel now, so I guess I'll rock it.
That's hilarious. I've never been called Diesel, not for any. I mean, I was always small back in the day, but that once I hit the 30s, you know what I mean? Those pizza rolls added on.
It added up quick, huh? I don't know, man. You looking really good in that sweatshirt. That sweatshirt looks fire.
That's
man.
why I wear the sweatshirts. You know what I mean? They cover all that.
Hey, look, hey, you and me both, bro. I do the same thing, man. I gotta get a new sweatshirt every year, so I feel you on that.
All right, but you have your own show. I want to talk about that before we get into this stuff.
Yeah. So I do on Game On Wisconsin, the channel. Jacob Westendorf and all those guys, they had a channel of their own, and my boy, me and Bernie Bango, we're doing the show called Coast to Coast Packers. We try to meet, once a week, talk about things that are going on in the Packer world. And then Bernie had to take a little bit of a hiatus. He's a little semi-sabbatical, semi-retired. So there's a guy named Treg who does Wilco Sports on Milwaukee. I forgot. I think it's 92.3 on ESPN. And so he's going to be joining me on the show, and we're going to be doing the weekly show. Actually started last week. It's been going really great. And honestly, I got to get you on there, bro. But I mean, I'm a little small syndicate compared to you, man. You big time. I'm a little fry. So I'm just trying to catch up to you. So yeah, man, we all just try to, enjoy the space of our boys, the Packers, and hope that we can have something to brag about and also talk trash about the Bears.
Yeah, dude. I was thinking that earlier, like how cool is it like that we get to do this? We just talk about the Packers. Yeah. People chiming in on the comments. I get to talk to like people like you, Nagler, like all the people that that I get to have on over here. I think that this is so fun, and like people chiming in the comments. But I do want to ask people who are watching live. I just want to make sure that there's no echo because for some reason my headphones didn't click in. So I'm listening to you on my audio. I want to make sure there's no echo because people will listen to podcasts. They're gonna be. They don't want.
They're gonna be mad as hell.
They don't want that. You know what I mean? Like if you're driving your car and you listen to a podcast and there's an echo, like what's going on?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It's happened with some shows and they fix it quick, right? So I feel you on that. So hopefully I'm coming across okay too. I'm using my laptop to get through here. So
yeah, I can hear you good. See, like I just bought this Stream Deck soundboard and like all day yesterday, and like after I'm done with this, I'm gonna be working on it because I can't get it to work. So from messing with it, I messed with all my sounds and my computer.
Oh shit!
So like ChatGPT is trying to help me. You know what's funny? I'm gonna tell you the story real quick. So last night I'm working on a Stream Deck and I'm trying to get it to like the soundboard will go through the stream, but it won't do it. But I'm not real smart technology wise, so I use YouTube. So I'm talking to ChatGPT for like hours, and I'm like, hey, so now I got this. Now what do I do? And she's talking me through it. We're having a good time, and then it's not working, right? So she's like, hey, just uninstall it and let's start over fresh. Okay. And like undo everything that you've done. And I was like close, like it worked for a second, then it wouldn't work. And I didn't know what I did to make it work. But she's like, just uninstall. So I uninstalled it and I'm like, all right, let's get this going. And then she's like, whoop, looks like our time's up. You can get more time if you pay more. And I was like, ChatGPT is trying to hustle me.
That's
good. Over here like, undo everything, and as soon as you do, I'm out unless you pay me like I don't know what the next step is.
It runs. Yeah, it runs.
Yeah, I'm not paying no more. I already pay like $20 a month or whatever. I'm not paying no more. That's where I'm on. So then you could talk to me tomorrow at 4:30. At 4:30, like she's like, yo, this is a job for me. All right.
Yeah,
I got
yeah,
stuff
yeah.
going. I got a family to tend to.
Yeah, like what the heck? You talking about some 4:30? Like, come on, I need this now. Like, I'm taking out time out of my evening to knock this out. And you gotta tell me to come back at your business hours? Like, that's not how this works. I'm sorry. What the hell?
Yeah, I think that I thought it was funny because she's like, uninstall it, undo everything. And then she was like, I'm out, by the way. I'm out.
That's dirty. It's like
Yeah,
she
it
almost
is.
set your ass up. That's a little much, right? That's like Terminator stuff right there, man.
It's scandalous, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna work on it once I get these soundboards working, dude. Like,
Mhm.
like I think you could probably hear it right here, which is no, you can't hear nothing.
No.
Anyway, see that's what happens. Anyway, so let's talk about this.
Yeah.
Everyone, thanks for tuning in live. If you are, and a few of you are, been to Quick Trip lately, man. Yeah, I've been to Quick. I was there twice today.
Okay.
You know what I mean, yeah.
What'd you get?
Sometimes the first time I needed to get gas, I was kind of in a hurry. Didn't go in. Then I had to go get some Pabst Light over
My
there.
man. My
Have
man.
you had Pabst Light yet?
No, I have not. How is it?
It's good. I love it. Actually, since the first time I had it, that's like, usually I was a Coors Light type of fella.
Okay.
I had Pabst Light, dude. I like it. The can looks cool. Not that that's why I'm drinking it, but
The can does look pretty cool.
I'm trying to make the Pabst Light the official drink of the Matt Ramage Show. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there you go.
This
You
show
gotta
is-
get your sponsors. I can get them now. Come on now.
You know what I mean? That's what you gotta do. You gotta start hustling on them. You know?
Hey,
what
I
I mean?
don't blame you,
No.
bro.
No,
I'm like, yo,
I actually like it a lot because I'm kind of a, like I'm not a big beer connoisseur. Like
Yeah,
I don't go and try craft beers and try different beers. Like I have like 3 beers I drink, and it's like,
which one? Where are they? Is it this one? And what else you got?
yeah, we got Pabst Light, Coors Light, Carry the G.
Okay.
Yeah,
those are.
That's about it right there. Like
That's
I don't
it. I was
venture
gonna say,
too far because everyone
Can't go wrong with those. Jesus.
like I will venture like if I'm at a place and they only have Busch Light because that happens every now and again.
You're a sucker.
I'll battle through, you know what I mean? Because I'm not gonna not drink. I was at a place in Milwaukee one time, and they're like, it was like a Busch Light sponsored event,
Okay.
and they're like, we only have Busch Light. Looked at my wife, and I was like, man, here we go.
All right. I give it a rock and roll.
We're gonna. I mean, I don't know.
Look.
It actually wasn't bad. I actually enjoyed it. I mean, let me take a drink real quick.
Go for it. Go. I went here and got these victory IPAs. I was like, okay, let me try this guy out, and it's a whole bunch of like these 9.5s. So yeah.
So that's what you do. You like those like IPAs and like just different type. Just try some stuff.
Yeah, so I mean, honestly, like when you were saying you're not a beer connoisseur, neither am I, but I'm definitely a beer snob when it comes to like if I'm gonna drink beer, it gotta be 7% or higher, as we make it worth my while, right? And I'm like, so I'm like, either I'm gonna do beer or I'm gonna do Scotch or bourbon, right? So I was like, all right, well, let me go get me some of these high percentage. But the thing is, you're right though, because those come quick and they hit fast. But if you're drinking like a Pabst Light, or you're drinking like a Coors Light, or even that for my Carry the G, you can have a few of those and still be all right. You're not go over here and like
Yeah, that's why I don't ever have a few. Like if I'm, you know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna get gas unless I'm going for a drive. You know what I mean? Like that's so like if I'm getting after it, I mean sometimes I'll have a few, like if I'm doing a show or doing a podcast, a few beers, go to bed. But like tonight is not one of those nights because I have off tomorrow. They just tried to call me into work. They called me into work. They're like, "Can you come in early?" I'm like, "Early? I had to check the schedule." I was like,
"You're like, wait, hold on, dog. I'm off."
I thought I had off. I plan on blacking out.
The wrong number.
No, not like that. Actually, like when I'm done, I'll just be working on this stream deck, having a few beers, or whatever.
Yeah,
hopefully, a few clips if we say anything special. All right, so let's talk about some Green Bay Packers. You know what I mean?
Let's do it.
Dude, we got some draft leaks coming up. We kind of talked about this a little bit.
Okay.
We're gonna get some more comments over here. I want to get to this one real quick right here. Being from Wisconsin, no Miller, dude. I want to tell people this because I get this comment a lot.
Okay.
First of all, I don't like Miller that much. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I'm with you.
It's just not. It's not my deal.
It don't sit right. It don't sit right.
Yeah. I mean, I respect people like it. It's from Wisconsin, so like I'm not gonna badmouth it because you don't enjoy what you enjoy. But dude, if you go to a barbecue in Wisconsin, like if you go to like a real barbecue, like a big maybe a graduation party or whatever, where it's kind of bring your own beer situation.
Yeah.
You're gonna if you open all the coolers, you're gonna have Pabst. You're gonna have Pabst Blue Ribbon. You're gonna have now Pabst Light. You're gonna have Coors Light. You're gonna have Bud Light. You're gonna have like IPAs. You're gonna have like every type of beer. People and a lot of Miller.
Yeah.
First of all, Miller High Life, the
That's
champagne of
different.
beers. I can rock with some.
Yeah, I can rock with that too.
Those 32-ounce bottles.
That's Monty's go-to. That's Monty's go-to. And I was like, I can get with them on that.
Yeah, I used to drink those 32-ounce bottles of Miller High Life. I remember like one of the first times I drank beer. I shouldn't tell that story, but let's just say I learned a lot about my mom that night. You know what I mean? She's like, go down there, get some High Life. We had a liquor store across the street. Me and my mom busting out some High Lifes, and I learned a lot about mom that day. You know what I mean? But
I was gonna say, she let you have it, huh?
She told me some stuff. All right, so let's talk about some Green Bay Packers. I appreciate everyone dropping it on the stream over here. Yeah, schedule leak. So let's go. We got I got some banners over here I made up. All right, so like I said earlier, the schedule is gonna drop tomorrow at 7 p.m. I might go live tomorrow night and like but it's probably gonna leak throughout the day anyways. But I might just go live and just kind of talk about the schedule and whatnot. But anyways, we're gonna talk about some leaks today.
Okay.
All right, so this is what ChatGPT told me because I was looking for the leaks, and I think there's only 2 games or whatever. But week 10, Monday Night Football.
Yeah, that's gonna be
Packers versus Eagles at Lambeau Field. Dude, that's the name, Lambeau Field right there. November 10th. Yeah, November 10th. And like I was saying this before you got here. I started to talk about this a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be November 10th. You kind of know where both these teams are gonna be, right?
100%.
The Eagles are probably going to be in a good situation. They're probably going to have maybe a couple losses. I don't know but they're a good team. I don't expect them to lose many games at that point.
Off. I personally don't. They've done well in drafting their team and developing it the way they have. So Howie, and the way
got AJ Dillon over there. You know what I mean? They're beefing up that running back room.
I'm gonna be mad as hell, man. If he starts rocking it over there, I'm gonna be so damn mad. I'm not gonna lie.
Dude, you got Quad Central over there. They're just over there just stacking quads.
Yeah. Oh, great. And one thing I'll say is I'm just happy that as much as I'd love to go to Ireland, I'm happy that we don't have to worry about that this year. It just seems like, it hasn't been our place, these overseas games recently. So I'm like, all right, I'm good that we're staying home. Yeah,
the overseas games, I like them because I like that other fan base because like there's a lot of fans like in Ireland and all the other places. So like I don't like to say like I don't want to go there because like they it's cool for them.
No, yeah,
but
100%.
like I don't think it's good for the team though. Overall,
no.
That's someone who was saying on a Facebook.
Yeah,
Matt Carter, shout out. You know what I mean, Viking fan. But he was saying like there's a lot of Viking fans over there and they play 2 games over there back to back. That's an advantage. I'm like, dude, I don't think it's ever an advantage to go.
No, they're just coping at that point. They just trying to
make excuses. You know what I mean? I don't think there's ever an advantage to going over there. It's cool. Like I think it's awesome that there are so many fans over there that get to see a game who normally wouldn't. But I don't think it's good for the players. I don't think that I think that they probably enjoy like the experience, but like it just takes them out of their funk. Situation.
What you're saying is exactly right. Like these people are creature of habits, right? Like they have a set thing that they do every single day when it comes to practice, shower schedule, sleep schedule, the whole 9 yards, right? You take them out of that and you keep them in a foreign country for 2 weeks where they gotta like completely like be in a completely different home, like not their normal equipment, none of that stuff. Like when it comes like working out, things like that, that's a little bit different. And it's adjustment that some people do good with and some don't, So for me, I know LaFleur hated it when we went to London for that Giants. No, was it a London game for Giants? Yeah. And then he didn't complain too much about Brazil. But yeah, I'm just happy that we ain't got to worry about that this year. And I said that game right there, the Eagles against the Packers, finally it's going to be in Green Bay because we haven't had that for a long time. I'm looking forward to that game. That's going to be an awesome game. That's like my birthday week too. So I'm like really hoping that we can close it out right. And I actually might try to come to that game. That's going to be in Green Bay. And I was like, if you're going to go to a game, that's the game to go to. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, I think that's probably like I'm not thinking of all the. I know that all the teams we already know like who they're playing. We just don't know when yet. But I think that's gonna be one of the top games. I think I'll probably go to that game. Plus November, it's not too cold.
It's right there.
But you're still getting that kind of vibe because it's starting to get like there. It depends on the year. Could be like snow. It could be like 50. Who knows?
So it's funny that same like that November 10th weekend back in 2013, right the week after Rodgers had broken his collarbone, 2 weeks after he broke his collarbone against Chicago. I had tickets to the Packers Eagles game actually, Sunday afternoon game, 1 o'clock game. Scott Tolzien was starting. And no joke. Yeah. And so it's funny. It's a 1 o'clock game, but bro, no, 12 o'clock game, right? Because it's Central Time. And like about third quarter, that cold came in, dude. And me, like I was with all my friends that are Philly fans, right? I'm the only Packer fan with all of us in the stands, right? And dude, oh my gosh, like you could feel it going through you at that point. That cold wind hit through, but I was like, I was just chugging beers just to keep me going at that point. I was like, all right, whatever it takes. I was like, I had a brought beer, and I was just like, all right, and there was beer. I was like, and we lost that game, but it was still an amazing atmosphere. And I was like, I got to come back for another game for us to win one. I got to win one in Lambeau Field, man.
You've never seen a win at Lambeau Field?
No, brother. I've only been to that game, and then when I was born in Green Bay, but I left there like I was like 5. So for me, I never really got to experience the whole like Packer thing until when I was way like 2013. So like when I'm in like my mid 30s, right? And I'm like, man, I need to go back and actually enjoy like a real Packers game. Now that game might be a tough one, right? Because like you said, the Eagles are a legit team, Super Bowl champs. But you talk about going to a Monday night game and a good game too. That's the one to go to, I think. So I'm looking at that game. That when I got that release, I saw that. I was hyped. I'm not gonna lie, because the Packers have kind of been hit or miss when it comes to like these like kind of spotlight games. But I got a lot of hope for this season. I really do.
Yeah, I want to ask you about that, but I also want to highlight this comment right here. It's like Deborah Fox. Hey, Matt, you rock, dude. I appreciate you, Deborah. You know,
she ain't lying. She's not lying. Matt's one of the OGs, man. He's one of the guys that kind of started this whole thing on social media. None of us in Packer Nation, Matt and CheeseHead TV are probably the 2 reasons why Packers Nation as a social media, as podcasting, all that stuff has become what it is. This man was doing stuff on Vine. He was doing stuff on like Facebook and Instagram, and he was out there just utilizing everything he could think of just to make people laugh. And then now look at him, he's kicking butt doing this stuff. So I love it.
No, I appreciate that. No, like my wife used to always say, she's like, you don't have to be on every social media. Like before I started doing content, like when I was doing Vine, every time there was social media, like I would test it out. Like, hey, what can I do with this? But I'm definitely not one of the beginners because like CheeseHead TV, like I remember watching them before I ever had a thought of like I should talk about the Packers on the internet. Like, I've never thought about that. CheeseHead TV way above me or like way ahead of me. Grassi, there's so many. I'm just glad to be part of
another one. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
I'm just glad to be part of people even mention me.
You're that top 5, dog. Don't get twisted. Don't get twisted.
I appreciate that. All right, so let's talk about the Eagles. All right, so that Eagles game, and then we'll move on because we have another one. Where do you expect the Packers to be? November 10th, is that right? I'm going to bring that back up. November 10th. Where do you expect the Packers to be? Because I kind of expect the Eagles to be in a good situation. They might have 2 or 3 unless they like slip, but I don't expect that. So I expect them to be a tough team to play. Where do you think the Packers are going to be sitting at that point? Like obviously barring type of weird injury. And
let's say like
Christian Watson should be back by then.
Yeah, I mean honestly, I'll put it this way, man. I'm a big Christian Watson guy. I think last year he was really kicked every time he played. I don't think he had any drop balls, minus a couple injuries here and there. He was really coming on, and I think like he's already running. He is a freak of nature. That's a foregone conclusion. And I feel like Adrian Peterson came back from a torn ACL in 5 months. And I'm just saying, like, if there's anybody in this world that can come back from a torn ACL, I can see Christian Watson doing it. And I'll put it this way. Let's say he starts out training camp. He starts out week 1 on PUP. He's out for the first 4 to 6 weeks, right? Cool. That's fine. Then he hits the ground running come October. Shoot. Yeah. And the thing is, like, we drafted Golden. We got Savion. Hopefully Dobbs is kind of recovered from his concussions. And, we can see the 3rd-year jump from Wicks as well as Reed. And if we see all that, and then, I mean, you heard Steno a couple of days ago. He was talking about how they need to involve Tucker Kraft more. Because I feel like Tucker Kraft's our tight end one, right? I love Musgrave.
I think Tucker Kraft is going to do some stuff. I think
same.
I think he's going to be like top 5 in the league. And I know I'm biased extremely all the time, but Tucker Kraft, I feel like everything he's saying is like right. I just feel like, and I feel like they just they weren't utilizing, like almost like they didn't know. And now they're like, all right, hey, this guy is actually really good at football. Like maybe get him the ball. Because I made a post on Facebook earlier. I think everywhere.
But I was gonna say, what are you talking about on Facebook? Are you everywhere now?
But like, who's gonna have the most receptions this year? And a lot of people are saying Tucker Kraft. Tucker Kraft, I think, is gonna be utilized. I think, like with the whole like reception thing, which doesn't matter. I don't care who has the most receptions. I hope somebody, they all have a lot. But I think Tucker Kraft is an interesting one. I don't think he'll have the most, but I think he's gonna get a lot more opportunities this season. They're gonna try like almost like that Tunyon year. Remember Robert Tunyon that year? Like they were like working to get him open, and they did it brilliantly. I think they do that with Tucker Kraft. He's a machine, and having him and Musgrave, I think that just like you could talk about the wide receivers all day, but those two tight ends, who doesn't love a tight end? You know what I mean?
Come on, dog. Like we haven't. I mean, we're the team of tight ends. The Jermichael Finleys, the Justin Perillos. I can't forget
Tommy Crabtree, baby.
Tom Crabtree, dog. I mean, come on now. We've had tight ends come out here left and right. Jared Cook came in and literally was paramount in 2016, right? Like for me, I think Tucker Kraft is a top 5 because you look at the other tight ends that are in that top 5. You look at Laporta, you're looking at McBride, you're looking at Kelsey, but I feel like Kelsey's getting kind of old, right? Tucker's right there with George Kittle. I mean, those guys are in that group, right? And so for me, you do have a guy like Tucker Kraft who's not just a great tight end, he's a complete tight end because he can block like anybody, right? Yep. And I think they had him back to block now because Musgrave, uber talented, just not a great blocker. I mean, let's just be honest about it, right? So, but as a size speed freak, I mean, he's literally no one can run with him. Corner can't, safeties can't, right? Linebackers can't. So for me, I think Tucker can be an inline tight end. You could have Musgrave kind of like slide out, and then I'm really kind of hoping. Like I know it's kind of hyperbolic, and I think it's a little bit like a bold take, but I wouldn't be surprised if Golden is like rookie of the year. I know that's saying a lot of crazy stuff right now, but like let's be real, like. The way that kid came in, what he's built up, the way he came in, the adversity. I mean, he literally has a Happy Gilmore story. Like Happy Gilmore's grandma lost her freaking house, and then he's playing golf to get it back. This man's playing football, and he bought back his grandma's house. Like I'm just saying, it's some like crazy dynamic, like parallels. But I just think just the temperament that Golden has, because he's the dude that not only was proven like a WR1 when he was at Texas, but like just he wants to be that guy. And sometimes you need that alpha dude who I think Christian Watson is too. But until he comes back and he's healthy, we have a lot of dogs. We just need one that's going to step out and be the alpha dog, which I don't think you've seen yet. And I think Golden can be that guy.
Yeah, so let's talk about that a little bit because I got a banner for this. So
look at this, man. Look at this. That slide deck ain't no joke, man.
That's ChatGPT. I ain't write that.
Oh, look, my boy I said it too. Quarles. I forgot all about God's gift, man. Come on, now.
Yeah. I actually met him one time, or like I didn't. Meet him.
Hey, I heard he's a pretty cool dude, man.
I wouldn't say I met him. Like I was behind him in line at a store.
Okay.
And I was like, "What's up?"
You were in his presence. You were in his presence.
Yeah, I said hi to him, and he acknowledged my presence. But like, it
there you go. All right, that's something. You did talk to him. You did meet him.
Yeah, we talked. Hi. Hello. All right, but let's talk about Matthew Golden, and not just him, but this whole wide receiver group. All right, Matthew Golden, drafted number 1, first pick, the first time they had a first round wide receiver since 2002. He has a quote here. I'm going to read this right quick for everyone on the podcast land. He said, "Yeah, it definitely means a lot more. It always been a dream of mine to go in the first round and to know that they hadn't picked a receiver since 2002. It's truly a blessing." That's first round pick, Matthew Golden. End quote, as they say. I always think it's funny when they say end quote because they're like, I don't want all the messed up stuff I'm about to say after the quote.
They'll keep it going.
Yeah, you know what I mean? He didn't say all that. That's me. But no. But I think it's cool that he knows that they haven't picked a first round wide receiver in a long time, and that whole walk up. Yeah, like, I just feel like he's destined for greatness because you can't have that walk up.
No,
he had, and then not be that dude. Yeah. And not that I thought he was doing anything extra.
No, he's just walking. Him.
Yeah, he was just walking. I seen a lot of people say that. Well, he looked like this, and he looked. No, it's a long hallway.
It's a long walk.
It's a long way to go. I seen like how the stage was set up because I was there.
Yeah, how was that? Yeah.
So they had the stage like on Oneida Street, like on the street, right? They built in the street because I talked to a guy who kind of knew what was going on, They filled in the street, put the stage there, and the stage went all the way back to the Resch complex. Then they had like a little tunnel in there. They built it so it went right to the building. So I think that's where like the green room was, and all the families were sitting in there. And then I'm just guessing because like they don't let me in. I think you know what I mean. But I think that's where the green room was, like right in the Resch, and then they had a door, and they just walked through that tunnel, and then it came out onto the stage. But that was the most epic thing. I don't think that any drafted player has ever had a more epic entrance, like the whole way walking and then go Pat, go, like, and they didn't let up at all. Everyone that was there was just screaming and like the whole thing was. And then I saw a video of his family, Matthew Golden's family, like as he was being announced, and they were saying, you know,
they were hyped, dude. They were
and they were like, yeah, you know, they were excited. I feel like they're happy to be in Green Bay. Everyone's happy to be here. I think he's gonna have every opportunity. So now we'll talk about the football side of it. Yeah. So he's gonna have every opportunity because I think everyone's gonna get opportunities. If you're a wide receiver, you play for the Packers. Like if you're hot, you're gonna be that guy. But what do you expect from this wide receiver group? What do you expect from not only Matthew Golden but the other rookie? And how do you think this wide receiver group's going to vibe? We kind of talked about the tight ends a little bit. Let's talk about some wide receiver action.
Yeah. So I mean, when it comes to that receiver crew, I feel like there's like so much young talent, and you know, Josh Jacobs made his comments in offseason. I don't think he meant anything by it. I think he just was trying to get people to like be motivated to try to be the alpha dog, try to be the WR1, right? And you know, I feel like rookie year for Wicks and Reed in particular, you saw them kind of set the bar really high, right? And you don't normally see that with rookies. And almost like clockwork, the second year of most receivers is a regression. Devontae saw it. Almost everyone has seen that, right? So we did see that a little bit happen with those two guys. And you know what? Maybe they got a little bit of a scare seeing that Savion and, you know, Golden got picked up. But I'm like, yo, like that gives you an opportunity. Iron, what the hell is the term? Iron sharpens iron, right?
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where, like, I do feel like at this point with the way the offense is going, and I think you do see a dramatic difference. And I think it's something that my boy Trey had said, where when it came to Rodgers, if he like trusted you, he's going to throw you the ball no matter what. But if you made a mistake, he's going to kind of ice you out, right? Jordan does not do that. Jordan definitely is the kind of dude like, hey, I'm going to throw you the ball. If you don't catch it, well, guess what? In a couple plays, I'm going to come right back to you. And he doesn't really care about like having to get his guy the ball. He's just want to get whoever's open the ball. And, you know, his percentages when it came to like throwing went down by 6-7% just on drop passes alone. I'm talking about catchable drop passes, right? And so the wide receiver core has a great opportunity here to kind of really take the next step. And I just think that if you look at the way we did our coaching staff, right, where like our wide receiver coach, Rafferty, he's still there, correct? But then, and they added talent to that room. But then when it came to our pass rush, our defensive line, they got rid of Renovich, they brought in Covington, and they really didn't add any pieces on that defense line until later in the draft. So I feel like it kind of gives you a testament to their feelings about the talent, right? Like when it comes to receivers, they're like, all right, guys, is your time to put up or shut up, right? You're going to have competition. Who's ever going to make it's going to make it. And then on the defensive line side, they're like, hey, the talent is there. We just need better coaching. So I really want to see what LaFleur is going to have in his bag, because Golden is that WR1. He's the kind of dude who can take a top off a defense. And let's be real, like when he was in Texas, Quinn Evers does not have the arm that Jordan Love does. Let's just be honest, right? I mean, if you go back and look at a lot of Golden's highlights, he's turning around and trying to catch the ball because homeboy can't throw the ball past him. He has to always like kind of – I don't think he ever ran a 4.29 on field because he couldn't ever outrun the quarterback's arm, right? Yeah. He's not going to have to worry about that with Jordan. Like if it's Jordan's going to get that ball down there no matter what. You just got to get up under it, right? Savion, so many comps. He's the next Cordell Patterson. He's the next Deebo Samuel. I just think he's just going to be a dude who you can literally put anywhere on the field on offense and he'll make plays. And you put him in space. And the funny thing is they said that he ran like a 4.48 coming out for the combine, but that was coming from an injury. And they think he's actually faster than that. My man's like 6'4.5" at 200 almost 30 pounds. And he runs, if they say he can run like a 4.4 or maybe a 4.39 at that kind of height weight, dude.
Yeah.
And you give LaFleur that kind of weapon, good goobity goo. I'm sorry. Like, I don't know what we're going to do, but I got
excited. The same metrics as him, I feel like, except for I'm like 5 inches shorter. Same weight, though. You know what I mean? I think it's different type of weight, though. I think
that's that Pab lightweight right there.
No, I'm excited about this passing game. The passing game was not what it should have been last year, right?
There's a lot of
Jordan Love got
inconsistency.
hurt.
Yes.
He got hurt twice, I believe, and they were dropping balls when they were there, but he had some overthrows and like some stuff too, because I think a lot with that injury and I think escaping was tough and
Mhm.
yeah, but I expect the passing game's got to get better, like.
Yeah.
It does, but like I think Jordan Love is getting like a lot of hate because I see a lot of people not Packer fans, but a lot of people like in my comments, like some Packer fans too, but like
Yeah.
they're just dogging Jordan Love, and then no one mentions like he was hurt, like he was playing hurt. So like this, like I don't know the situation with Jair Alexander, right?
Mhm.
But the kind of like the public view, like people
Yep.
who don't know and they're not in there, but
Yep.
their opinion is he didn't want to play hurt. Like, he wouldn't play hurt, and
I
that's
don't
why the
believe
Packers.
that. I don't
I
believe
don't
that.
know if that's true, but that's kind of like the public
Yeah,
opinion.
that's the perception, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
But then Jordan Love did play hurt, right?
And
And
look
then
what
they
happened.
dogged him because he didn't play as well, even though there was like a lot of drops. We see people over here,
Yes.
with
Yes.
a lot of people were dropping balls last year, and they for whatever reason that was that they weren't on the same page. And but anyway, my kind of point was that like people are mad no matter what.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, you can't win. You can't win either way. I think people forget that. Like, if you look back at that injury that he had against Philly Week 1, Jordan Love. I mean, you literally see his kneecap like pop out and come back in.
It was
I don't think
good.
it was just an MCL. I think it was a lot more. And he just was like, I just signed this big contract. He did the same thing that Rodgers did in 2018 when he had that tibia fracture, right? Rodgers signed the extension. He got really messed up by the Chicago Bears Week 1, comes back, leads this awesome comeback, right? But he was never right the whole year. And I think Jordan had that. And then, like you just said, in that Jacksonville game, he literally tore or pulled his groin, and he literally played through that, right? And you have Ja, who got hurt against that same game in Jacksonville. He literally tried to come back multiple weeks, practice and everything, and it just wasn't feeling right. And I think like it's one of those things where no matter what you do as a player, if you go out and Ja even said that. Ja said that like the year before. He's like, if I go out there and play and I play poorly and I'm injured, I'm getting dogged for that. And if I don't go out there and play, I'm still getting dogged. So he can't win either way. And Jordan was in that situation, right? That's why I think like our offense was so stagnated because Jordan couldn't play the way he normally plays, which is, rollouts, play action, taking the ball and running, which he still did on the busted leg. And you notice that when he would do that, he would come up gimping. Like it would come down and did it. And,
you could tell
right?
like later in the year it wasn't as bad. But
it was still you could see it.
Oh yeah,
like,
you could see it, but like especially like early on, like when he was running, you could see his like just he's running like how I run, just like
bro. You and me both, dog. He was graceful. I remember in 2023 in the Thanksgiving game, he ran that one ball at the end of the game against Detroit, and he looked he looked great, right? He couldn't open up like that all year last year. So for me, I definitely agree with you. I think that he needs to be healthy, and the offensive line needs to play better. I've always been a little bit of a hater for Josh Myers, even though last year I have to admit Josh Myers played through a torn pec. His dad died. He had a lot of things going on. And that dude was just an absolute monster. Like he tried his best, right? But he was a very average center, and I feel like having Elton there and just us really investing in an offensive line with Banks and with Belton, I'm really hoping that we can do everything we can to protect our franchise and take that next step.
Yeah, so I don't usually talk offensive line on this show because I don't know nothing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, but I have a question for you because Elton Jenkins, I saw. I don't know if it's true, but like he ain't there. He ain't. I'm not gonna talk about the other thing. I don't talk about the other thing because I don't care.
I think that's a nothing burger, bro. Anyone that's gone into a club and then been mad when you get in a club, there ain't nobody there. I'm not gonna lie. All of us felt that same way. We've all been like, "Yo, I want my money back." What you lied to us?
Yeah. I don't think that's a big thing. There were some unpleasantries, and then whatever, they kind of moved on. But right. I heard that he doesn't want to be at camp because he wants a new deal. He's going to be moved to center, and I saw this on Instagram, so it's like Instagram fan page.
Yeah.
But so you got details because you're locked in watching press conference, you're watching Cheesehead TV, you're watching everyone.
Stuff, bro, yeah.
So let me know what's the real deal about that because I kind of missed besides on Instagram.
I mean, honestly, I think if there's anybody in the chat that's probably knowledgeable more than me when it comes to the contracts, right? But I know what he got extended a couple years ago, that obviously is obsolete. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is yesterday's money is not today's money, right?
Yeah.
And so him
I
going
mean,
from right, yeah, he had the truth, right? And look, him as a guard, he was getting pretty good money, but even he's actually like in a bottom, like he's probably mid-class salary wise, but he's a top 5 guard, right? And then Aaron Banks comes in and he's getting paid like 23, 24 million a year. So Elton's like, all right, you want to put me at center, and centers don't make a lot of money. I mean, we'll just be honest. Center's probably the most least paid position. So you're putting him now. He had a clause in his contract that said like if he played so many snaps at left tackle, that he would get like incentive upscales. So they were really careful about not putting him at left tackle, if you noticed that, right? Because they didn't want him to get too many snaps, and then that escalator would kick in. And Ken Ingalls can correct me on that, but I'm pretty sure I'm right on that. But basically going from guard to center, it's like from 21 million average to 18 million average, right? And he's in that like 30, 31 range where a lot of times Goody says, all right, we're good, bro. You're over 31. We don't want you anymore, right? And I just think that Elton's that dude who, no matter where you put him on the line, he's above average. And there's certain positions where he's excellent, like he's elite, right? Like guard and center, I think he's elite. I think at left tackle, he's close to elite. Right tackle, he's above average. Right guard, above average, right? But for me, if you got a guy who could play anyone on the line like Zach Tom can, you pay him and you keep him. You just figure it out. And he's one of those dudes where he definitely is probably pissed that, all right, you want me to move to center? That's fine, but you need to extend me. And you need to pay me as the highest paid center. Because even highest paid center, he's probably getting $20 million a year, maybe.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, you just paid Kenny Clark. I was like, no, you make that work. Like, you make that work. I'm sorry. You figure it out. And
yeah, it ain't my money. Give it to
it ain't my money either. That's why I tell people all the time. Like,
that's what people always like, why'd you pay this guy over? And like, dude, they ain't asked for, they ain't no GoFundMe going on.
Right?
There ain't nobody asking to debit your check.
My stock money ain't going to that. It's going to Town. What you talking about, man? Get out of here with all that.
I buy some. I just bought a new coat over at Lambeau. At
there you go.
Shop. That don't go towards the salary cap, though. I don't think.
Maybe that goes towards it.
I don't think it does. I think that might put some hedges in over at Titletown or something. I don't know what happens.
There you go.
But yeah, they need to figure it out, because first of all, the offensive line is like key. Like I always say, like we could talk about the pass rush all day long about how it has to get better, obviously. But on this, I think those are the two most important spots. Offensive line, protect your quarterback, and abusing the other quarterback. Like if you are good at both of those things, you probably win a Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Look at the Eagles. Yeah, look at the Eagles. What they did to Kansas City in that Super Bowl. Like that's what you gotta do. Look at the Giants teams. You know, when they that defensive line.
Dude, that was nasty. That Giants team.
It's like
2021. Yeah. Sorry, 2021. Sorry, 2011. And was it 2015 or 4? Whatever year both Super Bowls they won, they had like literally 2 defensive lines. Like they had 8 guys that could do everything they wanted them to do. Right. Yeah. And Hafley was able to do what he did last year with not so much of a pass rush. So just imagine what he's going to do with a guy who knows what he's doing as a coach on that defensive line.
Yeah.
I just see that. I just see it. Yeah. I see his top 5 in defense.
Yeah, because I think that they do have the dudes that can do it. They just got to put them in the right positions. And
exactly.
And I'm hoping because I don't, that needs to happen. So, all right, so let's keep more. I'm gonna get to this comment right here. We got Wisco on the go. 17.6 cap hit for 2025, 24.8, 2026. Yep. He wants to basically ensure he'll be there for the 2026 because his dead cap hit isn't bad, and the Packers could dump. And that's what they do. So that his agent is like, hey, I've been down this road before. I seen what they do. If you wanna be here, you have to put these steps in. Otherwise they'll get rid of you. Because the Packers do. The Packers are like Leonardo DiCaprio. Bro, you start getting up in there. Hey, you got to go, baby. You got to go. You know what I mean?
But instead of like 25, it's 30.
Yeah. It's like a 5-year window right there that they kind of. Leo is like, you can't.
Leo's like 26. Nah, dog, I'm good.
Which is kind of wild because
it's kind of messed up. He's a lot older than me, man. I'm like, damn, dog. Like, what? Like, no, man. What is going on here? You a wild man, bro. But so it's funny. Like, Goody was like, all right, he played D-Bach. And don't get me wrong, till this day, I'm a big D-Bach guy. I always will be. But like he paid him, and then what happened? He got hurt, right? And you can't account for injuries. And have we seen Elton kind of get banged up a little bit here and there? We did. He got banged up in the Detroit game. He did get banged up in that Philly game. Me thinking, hey, injuries are a part of the game. That just happens. But the front office at 1265 sometimes could look at these injuries that are coming and are like, all right, well, what guarantee do we have that these aren't going to start kind of, what you call it, like kind of compounding here, right?
Yeah.
I get it, but like I just feel like there's some guys you just can't cut loose unless they think Sean Ryan or Jacob Monk can come in and play center and do it as well as Elton can, which I don't think they can. But then again, though, you know how it is, bro. Like when it comes to like the coaching staff and their decisions on the offensive line, there's things that we've watched as Packer fans where we just get completely like we ripping our hairs out, right? Like you got Billy Turner out there with one leg. You got like Josh Nijman who can easily come in. Like, no, we're good. We're gonna keep you on the bench. Like, no, dog, put him in. He can play. Like he's healthy. And so, yeah, trust me. Like offensive line sometimes can be a little crazy. And I really want to see what happened with Elton thing. Don't be surprised if they do extend him. If they extend him, I'm not complaining. I think it'd be.
I think that they're probably gonna. And when I say I think, I have no educated reason to know whether they would or wouldn't. But I go off my gut. You know what I mean?
I'll blame you on that, brother.
I'm not like knowledgeable in the situation at all. But I just think they're gonna. And I like him. I asked him one time if he'd do my podcast, and he said maybe. So like that was 2 years ago, but whatever.
Hey, maybe's a maybe. It's not a direct no, dog. I'll take it. You gotta ask again.
No, that's why I know. He should not do my podcast. People do my podcast, they disappear from the team.
Oh no.
There's not. I don't know. There's any player on the team.
No, you should have
Preston. He's gone, but that was kind of his choice. Oh,
yeah.
Kenny Clark. Kenny Clark is still there. He's done my podcast like 4 times.
Okay. All right. Good. Then we'll.
So Kenny,
there's some positives.
I don't want to be a jinx. Like, want to do my podcast? Like, I'm not trying to get traded, bro.
Look, if they put 2 and 2 together, you ain't gonna get nobody no more.
Unreal, like, hey, I had this guy on my podcast. Like, they all gone. I don't want to be gone. So let's talk about Josh Jacobs a little bit.
Yeah.
I actually got a banner for this. We're gonna talk about. Actually, before we get into him,
okay.
Let's talk about Marshawn Lloyd. Right. He joins the backfield, 3rd round pick, adds depth to the running game. But I want to talk about the whole running game as a whole. But obviously, it all starts with Josh Jacobs. But what do you think about who they're going to have behind him? We'll talk about that before we move on to Josh. I absolutely love Josh Jacobs. I can talk about him. I can have a whole podcast.
All right, I'm not gonna lie. I heard him on Bustin' on the Boys.
No,
right? Like I heard him, and I'm like, dude. Like he was on Aiden Ross's show. I'm like, whatever. But the fact that he was talking, I was like, all right.
He should be on the Matt Ramage show.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree. I'm gonna start tagging him.
Hang on, right here. We're gonna do this. I'm gonna clip this. Josh Jacobs. Yes. I see you doing all the big podcasts, all the important folks.
Yep.
Come talk to a real cheesehead. Come on the Matt Ramage show. I'm gonna ask you that good questions like your favorite color.
Boom.
You know what I mean? And that's important stuff.
What's your favorite cheese?
Favorite cheese, the favorite thing about Green Bay. No, but I respect that Josh Jacobs. He wants to retire a Packer. He likes it here. He's passionate. Yeah. Every time you see it, talk about it. He seems to be a good leader in that locker room. I'm absolutely so stoked that he was here. Aaron Jones was so awesome, and he was so loved, and he still is. I'll always love Aaron Jones, but there's no one that could replace him like he did. Like to fill that spot, not just like with the skill level, but like with just being a good dude.
Yeah.
More than Josh Jacobs, I feel like he's awesome, and he carries the G, as they say.
100%.
So let's talk about that. I'm gonna clip that. I won't send it to him, and I'm
please do, man, because
I'm sure he'll see it. And he'll be like, "Screw that guy."
No, dude. You heard him talk on Busting the Boys, right? Like that dude, like,
dude, if you're gonna bust with the boys, you can go on a stream.
Exactly. And look, he comes off so mild mannered, so chill, but then also has an intensity about him. Yeah. Like just hearing the way he grew up, how his dad and all his siblings were literally in a suburban and sleeping and living in a suburban just to make by while they were homeless. And for him to go from that to now to have be a multimillionaire, earned it. And not only that, but went to one of the tougher schools to go to when it comes to football, Alabama, the kind of talent that they get. And not only did he go there and was able to like overcome the adversity of other guys that are ahead of him and then become a starter and then become a first-round pick. I'm just saying, like, this dude not only like defied all the odds, but then when you see him on the field, like it's like he plays with a chip on his shoulder, like every run's his last run. And the dude has had a broken shoulder, has a torn this, torn that, has busted everything up. And he just finds a way to will himself to put the team on his back. Like in that Philly game in the playoffs, like he was the reason why we were in that game. Like he literally took that one ball and took like 35 yards down the field and basically almost scored. And I'm just like, wow, like guy was just like the sick of it. It's like, I'm going to do it. And like you were saying, like you can see the floor has kind of gone to more of like a power running kind of scheme. And I think Marshawn Lloyd coming in, we saw a little bit of him before he got hurt, but he has a lot of talent. And then I don't think we can forget about Emmanuel Wilson Sr., who's literally an undrafted free agent who came in and like he has like a spark to him that you just don't see. Like him and Lloyd just have like some kind of speed that just kind of hits and goes, like first gear gone, right? And Chris Brooks is like just a coaching like darling. Like everyone in Miami, everyone in Green Bay loved Chris Brooks. And you saw that on the field. Like the way he runs, he literally, again, he runs with like a ferocity that you don't see a lot. And I was expecting him to maybe draft a guy or bring somebody in, but hearing all these guys, and there's some guys, some undrafted free agents like Umar Johnson. He has my first name, so I'm like, yo, that's my dude right there. I'm gonna rock North Dakota State, and ran like a 4.39. And his tape, if you're anyone here wants to watch anything about draft, anything about the guys that we've taken or the guys that are coming up, Brennan Rupp, who's he does a lot of draft work. Him and Brian Maffey are really two good dudes that know their stuff about these college prospects. And Brandon cannot stop talking about Armour Johnson. And he's just like, yo, this dude's the real deal. And if he's somebody that can make the team, would make me feel good because there'll be a guy there with my first name. I think it would be awesome. And secondly, like the way he runs it's just like they're saying he's literally an Aaron Jones 2.0, right? And Aaron Jones, when we for about 5 minutes thought that it was going to be an Aaron Jones and Josh Jacobs backfield, I thought was like absolutely amazing, right? There's nobody that would ever fill Aaron Jones' shoes. Even Josh said that, right? Yeah. But what happens is Josh brought his own pair of shoes, and they were just as good as Aaron's.
Yeah, they're pretty good shoes too. You
know
what I mean?
Yes, sir. They were amazing shoes. And the truth is, on the field, off the field, they're basically the same person. They put everything on the line on the field, and they're so amazing off the field when it comes to the community, when it comes to just the way they interact with people. Like, they're just genuine good dudes. And, like, that's why whenever I see Aaron Jones and, like, anything purple, it breaks my heart, like, all over again. But, like, I support that dude because he's just a good – he dude had a G tattooed on his leg, for goodness sake.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Aaron Jones will be like, when he's done playing – he's going to come back if he wants to and do the tours.
Yes.
You know, how they do. He's going to be part of that.
Yep.
Like Aaron Jones will forever be a Packer. Like
forever.
Even right now, like when I see him in purple, that's like nothing to me. Like I just don't even.
You don't even look at it.
I black it out. You know what I mean? I think he's good, and then he's doing good, and I like everything that he's saying. But like, any Packer that I like goes to Minnesota. I'm just like.
Yeah.
You know, I learned with Favre because when it happened with Favre, I was very angry at that time.
We all were.
Yeah. I lost real life friends in that situation because I would just like go on Facebook like you just trash them, and people loved them. But like I felt like at the time, I don't feel like that now, but I felt like at the time it was like betrayal, and he like did it on purpose, and maybe he did. But like as an older person now, I kind of see it differently. Because it's their job, and maybe he was kind of like whatever.
He was a little mad at Ted. I know that, but every day, like I'm not gonna lie, like even to like when Rodgers was like going to the Jets, and like I'd have people come up to me like, "So are you a Jets fan now?" And I'm like, "Dog, I was born in Green Bay, bro."
Yeah,
like,
dude, I don't
rock players. Like I rock the guys on my team, not the guys that leave my team. Like, what are you talking about? Like, no, that's not how this works. And it was the same thing with Favre too. Like. Went to the Jets, and he was forcing his way out, and then he had to force his way over to the Vikings. He had to wait a year, right? And it's just like
it was like more like design. Like he had a plan, he had a strategy.
He had a plan, 100%. Rodgers was like, I just want to go somewhere else and start over again.
Dude, can you think about it? Rodgers, like with the Vikings, if Rodgers went to the Vikings this year, like that would be like the best case scenario.
That would be scary.
And people, I see Viking fans like, we don't want him. Like, then you're stupid. And I'm not like
DJ McCarthy's not it, dog. JJ McCarthy's not it, dude.
Dude, if you could get Rodgers and you have a complete, because that's what he needs, like what Brady had. He went to the Bucs,
Yeah.
had a good defense, they had a good team around him. Like Rodgers with Justin Jefferson, and I know Rodgers isn't the Rodgers of 2011,
No.
but he can still, if he has an offensive line, and even with the Jets, his numbers weren't that bad. And
No.
like I got no hate for Rodgers. I don't hate former players unless they, and even then I don't hate them. But like ones that annoy me is like when they talk trash. Like Ryan Longwell, I didn't
Yes.
forget. He said fine dining in Green Bay is at Olive Garden. First of all, the Olive Garden is a lovely place. All right.
Amazing. Tour of Italy. Tour of Italy. Sign me up, baby. Give me that fettuccine. Give me that chicken parmesan. Give me that lasagna. I'm done, dog. Food coma. I'm a happy camper. You can't tell me nothing. Who installs Olive Garden? Like, what is that?
Yeah.
Like, get out of
And
here,
you
dog.
need some fancy restaurants and go play for someone.
Go to your Michelin star, dog. I don't care. I'm
Dude,
fine with Olive Garden.
Rodgers was shouting out that Indian restaurant over by it used to be a Hooters. I mean,
that's a transition, right? I mean,
it used to be a
damn, dog.
Hooters turned into a Indian restaurant.
All
And
right.
like that's what you eat when you're in Green Bay. Like you could find your spots, you could find
Yeah.
great restaurants that aren't like high level. I just don't like when people trash Green Bay on the way out. And even Ryan Long, I ain't mad at him. Like whatever, he's on a new team. When guys go to a new team, like anytime like the Bears hire anyone,
Yes.
they're always gonna mention the Packers. We're gonna bring the
Every
Packers.
single
That's-
time, dude.
That's what you do. You kind of go like even like Aaron Jones, he's doing like the skull chant, at his press conference.
Yeah, but
when
even
he's
then,
going.
yeah.
I get it though, because you're trying to like Zadarius Smith was so good at it. Every team he went to and every team he'll ever go
he
to.
definitely embraced.
He gets the
culture,
fan
right?
base going, and that's what people want, especially in the offseason. Nothing's happening yet. You go to another team, you kind of rejoice it, especially if it's a rival from the team you went to. They want to hear. They want to hear all that stuff. But I want to ask you because we're creeping out. We're over an hour over here. But I want to ask you. Let's talk about Edgerrin Cooper, right? So Edgerrin Cooper, he anchors the defense. This is a Chat GPT says. Inside linebacker poised for a breakout season. And I saw this quote. I don't know who said it. You might know. But he said Packers linebacker Edgerrin Cooper looks different.
Yeah.
Is
Athlete
locked
said it.
in and
Athlete was saying it,
focused for year two. Like they say he came in looking a little maybe more beefed up. I don't know.
Yeah. He's at
what
240.
they
He
mean
gained
by
like
that, but
11 pounds of muscle, supposedly. Yeah.
did you see was that Halfley who said that?
That was halfway.
All
yeah.
right, so that was a good guess. I didn't see like who said the quote. I just saw the quote when I stole it.
Yeah. Hey, it was a good quote, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, if there's any talk about him being the Mike linebacker, because Halfley has talked about like how he wants to transition a little bit from he wants to have a little bit of 3-4, 4-3 mix, right? Last year is more 4-3, more nickel, right? And he kind of wants to have a little bit of like kind of multi-dimensional scheme, which is fine because it keeps offenses on their toes. And a guy like thank you. Yes, Brandon says, and Brandon, no bourbon tonight. Right now, it's just beer, my friend. But the funny thing is, like, when it came to, I love Quay, dude. I think Quay Walker is an absolute talent. I think that he really kind of hit the ground running last year before he got hurt. And if there's any talk of maybe putting Quay at weak or strong side and then putting Edgerrin in the middle, I'm okay with that. And if he's gaining weight to do that, that's fine. As long as he doesn't lose his burst. And he does, because that's what you saw on the film, right? And I'm not a film guy. I literally watch Andy, I watch Dusty, I watch Nagler, Ben Fennell, all those guys,
and me, right?
And you, of course, you. What are you talking about? Like, you're literally every day. Like, why'd I have to mention that? We already know. But truth be told, like when it comes to like seeing him like dissect plays and just attack things, even if he makes mistakes, he does it 100 miles an hour. But he was literally a difference maker on the defense. And if he's gaining weight to be able to take a more prominent role, I'm fine with it as long as there's no loss in talent, right? Because you don't want guys to gain weight and then kind of lose like some God-given talent they have, right?
I've done that.
Yeah.
People at work say something like, "Yeah, since you've been losing weight, you just really ain't that good."
You're the same. You don't move as fast.
Second half of the day, bro, you slowing down, like you leaning on walls and stuff.
You over here like, damn, no, this is too much. The cheese factory got me going.
Throw a little cheese around. Next thing you know, you're over here.
Hey, quick trip. I need a Mac, man. I need a Mac.
Yeah, dude, I'm over here with like a
with the inhaler.
What happened? I did my job.
That's it. I was like, yeah, it was a tough day today. It was a tough day.
Bro, I'm just throwing cheese around. We do that, keeping Wisconsin that cheese life rolling.
Hey, man. Hey, someone got to do it. Shit, you guys be doing the real work, man.
Tomorrow ain't gonna be me. I'm off.
Yeah, I was gonna say you need to enjoy tonight.
No, I'm not gonna do it tonight either.
You and ChatGPT are gonna attack this.
No, it ain't no cheese happening. I mean, I'll eat some cheese tonight.
Okay.
But what I do at my job, I cut cheese. I cut the cheese.
Oh,
I'm a mixer molder, they call it. I cut cheese. People ask me, what you do? I cut cheese.
And they're like, wait,
it goes down, string cheese and the knives come down.
Yeah.
I can't give away secrets or nothing like that.
No.
I got to be very vague because I know a lot of stuff. I could start my own cheese factory probably.
You could.
You could be with me and you. You be the manager. I'll be the plant manager.
I like it. I like this idea right now. This might be the way to go.
I know how to make cheese a little bit.
Might give me back in Green Bay, man.
Yeah, I did all the jobs over at the cheese factory. Now I do a lot of mixing and molding. You
just take everybody from the factory. That's it.
There was a story about that. Someone's gonna open up a cheese factory, and like everyone's gonna go over there. Like this guy was just gonna you can't just throw a cheese factory together. You can't be like I'm just you can start like maybe a car wash. Like you work at a car wash. I used to work at a car wash. People would say I'm gonna have my own car wash one day. You could do that. You could buy a car wash or get a loan and like build one or whatever. But I feel like a food factory is different. Like, you can't just be like, I'm gonna make cheese now. Like, no, there's a lot of R&D, like a lot of you gotta know what's going on. You know what I mean? You can't just like I'm just gonna start my own cheese business. Anyway,
I've learned the tricks, and I'm gonna find a way. I'm gonna find a way.
Especially like when you, anyways. I don't want to talk about. I'd probably get fired for just having that conversation.
Yeah, you need. We don't need. You got fired on your day off, Craig. Come on, man.
What happened? How'd you get fired? I talked about my job on my podcast.
I didn't steal boxes. I just talked.
Yeah. I ain't steal nothing. I want you to know that. I don't care what those cameras showed you.
They're lying. Trying to make a tree house? I was trying to make a cheese house. Come on, man.
Trying to get that cheese whiz, baby. We don't do cheese whiz over there. But yeah, dude. The schedule comes out tomorrow. We're gonna find out everything.
Yeah, I can't wait, dude. Someone said Baltimore Packers.
Week 1. Someone asked that question earlier, and I did see a graphic that it wasn't for sure. This person was saying, this is what I think week 1 will be, but it's not confirmed. So don't burn down his house if he's wrong.
Yeah.
But I saw that for the Packers, I saw the Ravens. So if the Packers play the Ravens, week 1, dude. All right. So Lamar Jackson's my fantasy quarterback, but so is Jordan Love. I kind of last year.
But now you screwed on that.
Yeah. So now, but I can't not. This year I'm probably gonna go a lot of Jordan Love because I got faith in Jordan Love, and like I take my. That's why I'm not good at fantasy football is because real life is more important.
Take too many year guys.
You know what I mean? So I'll probably start Jordan Love. I got faith in the defense. And if I started Lamar Jackson, what's that say about my faith in our defense?
I agree.
You know what I mean? If I can't do it. So week 1, I'll start Jordan Love. So
wait, do they know? Did they say if it's going to be Packers at Baltimore or is it going to be Baltimore?
They didn't say. Actually, I think I might have took a screenshot because I was going to.
Yeah. Hold on.
Use
it came up.
Let's see if I did. No, I didn't do it. Should have stole it. But
yeah, I was gonna see if I could.
But either way, like that'll be a tough week 1 game.
That's a tough right there, man.
Playoff team. Lamar Jackson is a freak. I love Lamar Jackson. He's my favorite non-Packer player that's never played.
Yes, everything about him, just everything about him.
He's fun. Like he can run on the field. He's a baller. But even outside the field, like he talks about, like he doesn't hang out with anyone in the NFL.
Yeah, he's like I just talk about,
and he's like, no, they don't call me.
I just go home. And he's like over here doing TV shows and stuff like that, right? I think he was in some like TV series. I
don't know if he was. Yeah, he probably was. I remember one time I saw a video of him at a gas station.
Yes,
he's wearing like these necklaces, and he's like hanging out with people, and he's like,
that's different.
I'm like watching him. Like, dude, be careful.
Walt will be.
You know what I mean? Because anywhere really, if you're an athlete and you're a target, whatever. But at a gas station and when it's dark, I just feel like, I know he's being cool with the fans, but like I always worry about. If I was a player, I wouldn't leave the house. I'd be like, everyone's coming to get, breaking into their houses and stuff. They're doing all types of crazy stuff. Players got to be careful. Anyways, I'm sure they're all watching this. Like, oh, thanks for the tip. Thanks for the heads up. Right.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, I'm reading some of the comments.
So we got some comments over here. It said Lamar coming back to Green Bay again. So if that is a a Green Bay. I don't know. Do you think we're gonna get a home opener for week 1? Because I think
Bro,
that
we haven't
LaFleur
had
hasn't
one
had one yet, right?
since 2018. Since
Yeah.
the freaking Chicago game, dog. When
Yeah.
oh no, was it 2018 or 2019? Was that?
I'm not sure, but it was.
No,
I saw somewhere that Matt LaFleur never, since he's been here, hasn't had a home opener.
I think that's
week
right.
1.
Yeah, 2018 was the last home opener. That was with McCarthy, and then 2019 LaFleur came in. We had Chicago, but wait, wasn't week 1 2019? Oh wait, you're right. Yeah, 2019. Shit. Sorry, can't say that.
Yeah, what's going on here, dude? This is a family show. Not
I'm
your.
so sorry, my bad.
What's up?
I said
But
shoot.
yeah,
I said shoot. I said shoot.
yeah, tell us the home. I think it might be week 1. But we're
Yeah,
here.
Haley, I don't know. I
From
was
the
we're trying
chat,
to figure
you know
this
what I
out
mean?
right now. Yeah, Balt will be home. So Brandon, you confused me, my friend. You said Lamar's coming to Green Bay again. Now you're saying Balt will be home. Now I'm so confused.
Yeah, we don't
I don't
know.
know.
We'll find out tomorrow. So
Yeah, we'll
tomorrow
find out.
night I'll be live. Maybe I'll have someone with me. Maybe I'll be myself. And I don't know what's gonna happen. I'll plan that tomorrow. See what time I wake up because I'm about to get ripped out of this.
My man.
I'm off tomorrow. You know, I'm gonna try to. That's what I realized. You know, I can't figure stuff out. Right, like I'm trying to figure out something technological. Right, because I'm an idiot with technology. And but you just drink beer and like watch YouTube videos and just play with it, and then sometimes you figure it out. Sometimes you wake up, and sometimes you figure it out. You wake up, you don't forget what you did. And like, oh, I did it last night, but I don't know how I did it because I forgot.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy because like you figure out a lot in like that intoxicated state. You're right though. The next day, you're like, "What the heck did I just do?"
Dude, every player I've had on my podcast, I probably asked while I was drinking. Like I actually got a rookie to say yes. I don't want to say which one yet because
Nope, don't do it. Yeah.
Until
Just
it's
surprise us.
scheduled.
Yeah.
But he said he would do it, and he responded, and I was like, "Oh, why is he DMing me?" And I looked, I'm like, "Oh, I asked him to go."
Dude,
on
some of
my
the younger
podcast.
guys are like that though. They're about that because they're all about social media anyways, right?
Yeah.
And someone was like Evan Williams has been on CheeseHead TV a couple times, right? And I have to admit because of the generation, you know what I'm saying? Because the older guys are like, they get scared about because you and me are pretty good dudes. We're not gonna try to put these gotcha moments.
Yeah, but
That's
yeah,
not
they
what
gotta
we're
be
about,
careful for that.
right? And they hear, and as long as we do interview them and they see that we're not about that, that makes them want to come back because you got a lot of folks out there that ask questions where like, you know what they're trying to do.
Yeah, they're trying to get that clip.
Yeah, and I'm like,
their career.
Yeah, and I'm thinking like, I don't want none of that. The
Like-
fact that you're giving me your time is more valuable to me than me trying to get you in anything. I don't want none of that. I like to know what these guys are about, like just their day to day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
I like to know like I think the most interesting question. Like I asked Adrian Amos when he was on.
yeah.
When did
He's
you know
awesome,
that
too.
you could make the league? Because and not everyone's like like LeBron.
Yeah,
you know what I
100%.
mean. Like not everyone is like
Physically gifted.
You're just you're the chosen one.
Right.
And like and he gave me a good answer. He was like, there was a game that in college, and he had a really good game, and I forget the exact stats he had, but he had a good game. And he's like, afterwards, he was hanging out with his dad, and he was just like, "Yo, I can take this to the next level." And I think that's cool because I think those type of questions I feel like because like I don't ask the media stuff because like those guys will ask it.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
the media guys that got it. They're gonna be out. Don't ask them that stuff. I can ask them like what's your favorite color?
Dude, when you said that, I ain't gonna lie, that was funny.
Dude,
as hell,
I asked.
but I have to
I
admit,
think
like,
I asked
that's
him
a
that
very
one time, like, when I
genuine
first-
question. That's a very genuine question. Like, there's no hidden agenda with that. What's your favorite color? And I don't want you to say green or yellow unless it really is green or yellow, right? But like, what makes you tick? Like,
I think it's cool to find out their hobbies and like what they do. And that's the thing too for anyone like who has a player or anyone who you think is cool on your podcast. Like ask them about stuff they like because they don't always want to talk about the job. So ask them like Jamal Williams is big into Pokemon. So if you had him on your podcast, ask him about that. He'll talk all day about that, and you learn
Naruto.
something. Like,
you talk about Naruto, dude. He goes off. He starts doing the hand signs, and I'm like, yo, Jamal. That was the dude that like I don't care where he went, I followed him. Like
Jamal Williams, I think is the funniest guy.
He is.
He probably is going to be like top 5-10 funniest humans to ever play in the NFL.
I don't think I've ever. The only time I ever see him not smiling was when he was in Detroit and he was crying.
Yeah, that'll happen in Detroit.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was that year that they had a bad year and they kept going up. But like, he just has an intensity about him where it just seemed like he had very genuine intensity, right? Like it wasn't how some people like rah, but they're not really rah guys, right? That guy was awesome, dude. And he just like everywhere he went, he was the same guy everywhere he went. Like I feel like some people change, they try to, adapt to their media surroundings, but that dude just stayed true to himself. And I love that about him. That's why like Big B, when he's like Jamal's my dude, I was like, yeah, I can see why. It makes sense.
Yeah, Jamal Williams is awesome. Like, yeah, I've always I never had him on my podcast. I asked him a few times. Didn't work out.
I'm surprised he wouldn't. He may do it now. You should tell him now because like I don't even know if he's with a team right now. But you should definitely do it and ask him now.
Yeah, but I did like that. He did Game on Wisconsin. I always try to watch.
Yeah, he was with like Jimmy and Jimmy. And Todd. He did it with them.
Yeah, so I've obviously he doesn't have high standards.
Yeah, exactly. He was on our channel. we bottom rung, dog.
No, I was like, bro, you ain't gonna do mine, but you'll do that. All right.
I walked right into that, but it's okay.
They knew something about him. They had something.
I went right into that joint, dude. I didn't care. I was like, I went head first in that joint.
They did a good job. I think they raised some money for his charity too. So
yeah, him and Kenny Clark have been on the show for a game on. Yeah.
I think he's awesome. I think he's a funny guy. He would like do their show with like his cat in his hand, and he would like he was a villain. Like, what's going on here? This dude's over here just stroking his cat. Like
he's the most eccentric dude ever, man. Like he
loves life, and it seems like he enjoys it. And people like to be around people who are just happy.
A positive personality. Yeah. You need more of that in the world right now. Let's be real, right? And so guys like him, they don't come very often. So when you do, you got to grab onto him and just get a part of them in the sense of like just enjoying their presence because, like you said, those positive people, they don't exist every day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and like doing a weekly show for a player, because I've asked players to come on, hey, want to do a weekly show? That's asking a lot, especially like after a loss.
Yes.
And maybe they got banged up and they're hurt, and now they work all day doing getting back and then doing the meetings. Maybe they got yelled at. Maybe they made a mistake at the game. And now that night, they're like, hey, you want to talk to a bunch of idiots on the internet? Like, hey, how was that game? Did you see where I fumbled?
It's like, I don't want to talk about none of that. And that's
you be asking about stuff like, what'd you do? You gonna go grocery shopping? Because I ain't. Could you imagine like you have a really bad day at work and you get home and someone's like, hey, so how when you made that mistake that you almost got fired for, like how was that? How did you feel?
When you were like, how was that email you sent out that was completely wrong? I was like, oh yeah, my bad. Yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah. How'd you feel when you actually hit reply all?
Yeah, and when you posted to one person and everyone responded back to you, stop replying all.
And you were talking trash about everyone.
Yeah, and everyone knows now. All right, good job, dog.
Yeah,
nice. And I think like if you build that rapport with the player where like every time they come on, it's not about the game. And I think us as fans, sometimes we don't get to see these people as people, right? We just see them as they're our players that play for our team. But when you see them as who because they're humans like us, right? And you get to feel that about them. I feel like that goes a far way. And then for them too, like if you got a dude that came every week on your show, he might feel more comfortable with you because he knows you're just a regular dude who's just trying to let the people see another side of him that they don't see every day, right?
Yeah.
Because they're getting interviewed by NFL Network, ESPN. They're getting all the beat writers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And everyone has to write a story, and then some have an agenda, some don't. I'm not going to like call anybody out because I think everyone's just trying to do a job. But like guys like you and me and other podcasters, we're just trying to get these people to show us their other side that other people don't get to see. That's what I think at least, right?
Oh, yeah. Like when I first started having players on that's like what I wanted to see. Is like show people like that they're human and like they have other sides and they're not just – and like you think about it, players, like most people that they run into, everybody wants something from them. Right?
Yes.
Even like the people that they know in real life, they they got money and they're like, hey, help me start my business. All I need is $1 million.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like you're acting like that.
I saw on ESPN 4.9 million. You can give me 900.
Yeah, like, and I always feel like when it comes to that, it's one of those things where none of us want anything from them from that kind of thing.
Oh yeah,
right? Like I don't.
Dude, when I went bowling with Preston Smith, I paid.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
because awesome. I mean, I think he expected to, but like I don't want none from you. Like cool. It was cool, like hanging out with him and like obviously, like that was awesome. But I wasn't You know, I was like, it wasn't like I did like it was some monument. We played 2 games. It wasn't like I was out there just making it rain out.
Yeah.
But like I'm just saying, it's like it was cool that he went there. I wasn't trying to like get a free game of bowling out of him. Like I think most people like even with like autographs or pictures, like everyone is and more, like you say, like family. So I think it's cool to just ask him like stuff that that pops in my head.
Yeah.
Like the average fan is like I'm saying, like how do you get into it? Like a lot of these players play basketball. How did you decide which one you want to
Yeah.
do?
Dude,
And that's
John
crazy too.
Gibbons
Like
played
players, like
basketball.
some of them, like they have a choice.
Yeah. They were like, hey, I got to
good
do
at
it.
everything.
Yeah. And like, I think what you said was cool too, where like sometimes like they need to know, like sometimes all we're trying to do, like what I love about these guys is like they come from such humble beginnings, and like the adversity that they have to go through, it never came easy, and they found a way to persevere through it. And people need to hear that more, because you hear about like when they do the draft network stuff and they try to like break all that stuff down. But like if someone's willing to give their side of the story, where they like say, hey, like, yeah, I came from a house where I had like 12 siblings and we're all in one house and we're all trying to build up and trying to find a way to make it out of this life, and then not only make something of myself, but then be able to provide for my family and everybody else. I feel like those kinds of stories what people need to hear, because like sometimes people forget, like this guy that's on the field breaking his body to try to give us entertainment. He comes from a family. He's supporting people, and he didn't just get there because he just woke up and just happened, right? They have God-given talent, but they also like nurtured it to the point to where they are, to where like, I mean, you know how much I would wish to have like 1% of that God-given talent from a physical standpoint, like an athletic standpoint. These guys do things on the field that we wish we could do, like, and so I don't know, like hearing those kinds of stories I think are so cool, because you also don't want the player to think you're being nosy and trying to like,
hey,
trying to be like,
yeah. I'm not
like,
trying to get all Larry King on him,
No, but I'm saying, man, like I think like people need to know
saying.
sometimes, like, hey, this guy who you're looking at, this 21-year-old, this 25-year-old, understand like he came from wherever he came from to be able to be on the field and to represent your team. Like, don't be so mean to. I know it sounds kind of corny, but like you're being hard on them. But reality is like, how will you as a person go? Would you be able to survive that? Like, would you be able to go through everything they went through and then be on the football field with
at such a young age too?
Yes, and
interviews and like in your face, like someone sit down here, like you have a bad game, and like and they're all over you, and then the coaches, obviously they had the whatever inside the locker room, but like I mean that's part of the game is like criticism, and like
100%.
That's just not my deal, because I'm just a fan. So I'm not gonna ever make a podcast like this guy sucks, he should be cut, get rid of him. Like I'll never do that. If someone has a bad game, like I'll acknowledge it, but like, hey, that was a rough one out there. But I'm not gonna like. First of all, who am I?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm sorry.
I have an e-scooter that goes 12 miles an hour. When I get on it, it goes 11. Yes. All right. So like,
like we're all which is them Joe Schmoes just trying to watch the game and just trying to.
Yeah, and then we're all over here like breaking it down. Like, yeah, he should have cut that in and got that hole. I don't know how he didn't see that. Like, meanwhile, I'm a cockeyed fat guy who works at a cheese factory. You know what I mean? Like, who are you talking to? What are you talking about? You know what I mean?
Like, this is an account that like goes out of their way to hate on Aaron Jones, right? And I'm like, if there's anybody on this world that we could hate on, Aaron Jones is not the one.
Yeah.
Like they bring up the game from the Niners where like, how like he got that long play and then he cut it in instead of cutting out or whatever, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, and they make fun of like I'm like, what do you gain from that? Like, I'm sorry, like
and that type of thing too, like on those long run plays.
Yes.
When they show players, like sometimes they cut and they
fall or whatever,
the other way. But like, dude, they don't have that view. This isn't Madden where they get the whole. They know what's going on behind them, next to them, in front of them. They're running. Maybe they're trying to look at the jumbotron to kind of get a feel of what's going on. But you can't just turn around running full speed,
right?
So like, yeah, they do the best they can. But yeah, I mean that's what fans do. We criticize afterwards. Like I don't as much as some other.
I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to be better too. I feel.
Yeah, I mean, I did like my dog who died, not that long ago. But
I'm sorry,
his name was Finley, and I remember he used to run and hide because if Jermichael Finley dropped a ball, and I didn't stream that, I'd be like, "Come on, Finley, catch it!" Like yelling at it, and my dog would just like run to the other room. Like, what did I do?
Like, what ball am I catching?
I thought we were watching TV. What happened? What's on the TV? Why are you yelling? Why you get so mad at me?
That's terrible.
Yeah, that's why you shouldn't name your animals after players unless they're
No.
like retired. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like after, I mean, because if they do something wrong and you got to yell at them
Yeah.
at your TV, your dog might get scared. You know what I
My
mean?
dogs have been traumatized from me from every wins and losses, especially wins where I scream like crazy. You've seen the videos. And like,
Yeah.
there's videos of my dogs. They're just like, they're disheveled and their ears are going everywhere and they don't know what to do.
Dude, I think dogs got to be freaking out, like just in general.
Yes.
Like they're like, why are they just staring at this box? Because like the dogs, they don't know. And now, why are they so angry at this box? They get up. Sometimes they watch it and they cry. Sometimes they clap, and then sometimes they get up and punched it, and they're like, "Come on,
through
you talking
through the TV."
Dogs gotta be like, what's going on? And then if you name them after a player and you start yelling the name, now they're like, what did I do?
Yeah, I'm just here, dog. I'm watching the game with you. Why are you so mad?
We were vibing, bro. What's happening? Why?
I was sleeping, and then you yelled at me.
Sleeping. Next thing you know, you're jumping up. Screw that. These refs are this and that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's me all day. Yeah.
Like, who are we mad at? What's going on?
Yeah, the dogs are like literally. They're trying to be like your side, but they're also scared.
Yeah.
Like, are you yelling at me? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if I did something because they all did something, but you just don't know about it yet. Like, is he mad about that time I crapped behind the dresser?
Yeah, he hasn't seen it yet.
Yeah, he might have
right
found that thing. All right, we're gonna wrap this thing up. Everyone, be sure you're on Game On Wisconsin.
Yep, I'm on Coast to Coast Packers. I'm on Twitter at AMAR3455. Catch me on there, and yeah, if you guys see anything about my stuff, I try to promote Matt's stuff as much as I can because yeah, we all just living in Matt's world if we're being honest.
Shut up. Nah, I think you do good stuff. I like your rant videos. Like I see those every now and again over on Twitter, and I'm like, yo, I think we're like a lot alike.
Oh yeah, I think so.
I don't make those videos much anymore, but it's kind of like how I started, where I would just scream into my before I live stream during the games. Like during the game, like something would happen, I would just make a video and yell, kind of like what my Instagram was back in the day.
I remember that's where I found you. Yeah.
I would just be. Usually, it was just talking trash. Like I remember that when Rodgers got hurt against the Bears.
Yes,
and I was in this basement, and it was kind of like a different setup.
I remember this. I know exactly what you're talking about.
And I was sitting on my couch, and my phone was on like the arm of the coach, and Packers are losing. They're getting beat down. Rodgers in the locker room. My phone just like ding ding.
Yeah,
like every social media platform. I had all the notifications on back then. They were all lighting up. Everyone's ha ha. Look at what's up now.
Yep.
Packers.
Dude, there's so many haters out there.
Out and all
so
this.
many haters out there.
So
man.
I just started drinking heavily. I was just because I was sad just to get through this, and then, dude, second half, Rodgers came back, and then I made this video. That was like one of my first like bigger Packer videos I made. I had this beer glass, and I'm just hammering. I'm like, yeah, what now? You guys had so much to say. But the Rodgers came back, and then I yelled. I said the goatness. I'm like the goatness. You witnessed the goatness. Like I don't think that's a word, but that was a fun game. But yeah, I love social media. I love the back and forth trashing the Vikings, and Viking fans come back at me, and like the whole thing. Some people take it to a weird level, but I have fun with it. I don't care who you are,
bro. It becomes like an attack on me from like being from India, this and that. I get all these things. I'm like, dog, it's just sports. Like, what are we doing right now? Like, why does it need to get to that level? Like, it's completely unnecessary. And there's some Bears fans who meet him, this guy, Nate Flint. I gotta give him a shout out. Me and him would go back and forth. And then we both like became like best friends. So if it's not like Packers Bears, we resonate. We're like on the same lockstep on everything, okay? But Bears and Packers, oh yeah. He's like, dude, I'm waiting for us to beat you again so I can give you your own video. I was like, yeah, I know it's coming. It might happen. It won't happen probably in another 10 years, but it might happen.
I think Bears fans are cool. Like you can talk to Bear fans. You can be cool with Bear fans.
Yes.
Go back and forth, have fun, roast them. They'll roast you back.
Yep.
But Viking fans, I like on the internet at least.
Yes.
Very sensitive, very soft.
Very sensitive. Because they don't got nothing. They don't got nothing.
Dude, they're like, they can't take a joke.
No.
And they just like copy and paste, repeat themselves, talking about You guys had 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks and only 2 Super Bowl wins. I'm like, yeah, bro. Like, first of all,
What are you?
that's like me saying, like you have a neighbor who's like doing really well. Like, oh, you have those 2 jobs and all you got are those 2 Mercedes Benz.
Yeah, sucks for you. Like, wait, dog,
Yeah,
what do you got?
me and
over
my Ford Escort pulling out of the driveway. What a piece of crap.
And we're not even trying to shave anybody on Escorts, but I'm just saying that's how Vikings.
Oh yeah. I'm not.
but
Ford Escort's a fine vehicle.
fine
I'm just
vehicle.
saying, if you have a Ford Escort, you're probably not talking trash to the guy
That's
across the
the
street who has 2
Mercedes-Benz guy.
Mercedes.
I mean, we just saying, right? We're being honest, right? But
Yeah, I don't have either of those vehicles. I can't.
like even when it comes to like Bears fans and Detroit fans, because for the most part, like we might hate on each other, but we all resonate our hate towards the Vikings, right?
Yeah.
But like Vikings fans, I can't team up with them to hate on Bears or Lions. I just can't do it because
Because they try sometimes.
Yes,
I mean,
but then
roasting the
it's
Bears and
insufferable.
Vikings, like, yeah, I'm like, whoa, who are you?
Whoa, wait, dog. I heard you last week. I'm not feeling this. No, get out of here. No, I'm not good. No,
I know one Viking fan that I work with, and he's pretty
Yeah.
cool. He's
There's a
walking
few
around-
now. I ain't gonna
he
lie.
walks
I
around
agree.
doing this skull thing, and I was like, yeah, I like soccer too. That's
Like,
what
what
I
do you mean? I think you trying out for YMCA? What's going on, dog? You all right? Like the village people, what you doing, man? Why because
yeah, I think the skull, the whole horn thing, the whole thing they
it's
got
all
there.
corny. It's so corny, dude.
It's just and it's all made up. Like they just stole it. Like it's not like everything. Like not even take the Packers out. You can go to the Bears. You can go to a lot of teams.
Yes.
They got culture. They got stuff. The Vikings really don't have anything. It's like a made up. Everything is just made up. Like the
It's like an
Lions
expansion
too don't
team.
have
They just
much.
showed up.
But they don't. The Lions don't have much, but they don't make stuff up.
No,
They'll
exactly.
hang a banner for anything they do.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
They got banners like we played a game Sunday. Put it up.
We won by 30. We gotta hang the banner.
They're like we were in a playoff game. They got a banner for that. They didn't say the year. It just says we were in a playoff game. Like what year? We don't know.
Yeah, like was it 2014? We won a playoff game. I was like, wait, hold on, what? Like, I'm so confused right now. Like,
yeah, they're like NFC Central Division champs.
Yeah, you knew.
Like, dude, take that thing down.
I'm like, oh god, it's gonna start. It started.
No one should have a banner in their stadium that says NFC Central champions. Like, bro, let it go.
That's the.
I mean, if it's championships, I get it because they ruled the 50s.
Yeah,
they have all those banners. You can put
Yeah.
lights on them and everything. But
You
you
said
can't, you can't be bragging about division championship, especially when the division's not even called that anymore. Like it's time to let that one go. Like that's like the top 5 moment of the franchise since like the last 58, whatever the last championship was.
And Lions fan talking all that trash. I'm like, dude, you guys went to NFC championship game. Now the division game. You guys are going backwards. You guys ain't going forwards. I'm just saying.
Yeah, dude, they're done, dude. But, I mean, not completely done. But I think they'll be good this year. But I think that losing their coordinators is going to be tough.
I think so too. I think losing Ben Johnson is going to make a big difference. Aaron
But
Glenn.
I think the division's going to be crazy though.
Yeah. Vikings to me or whatever. Bears might be hit or miss.
If they get anything out of McCaffrey or whatever his name is over there, what's his name? The Vikings quarterback?
Oh, you talking about JJ McCarthy?
JJ McCarthy, yeah. That's how good he is. Forget his name. But they have a good team like around him. So if he can manage to like put together an average season, like where he just doesn't give the games away, it might be all right. Because I do think they have a good team around him. I just don't think that that's going to happen. Anyways, we're gonna wrap this thing up. We were an hour and a half. You got stuff to do with your life. My wife today because
I haven't talked to you forever. It's been a lot of time to catch up on.
I had Emerson on from WBAY. Shout out.
Nice.
And my wife watches them all the time. It's a local Green Bay station.
Yeah.
And I had him on, and then she said to me, she's like, dude, that was the most like Midwest goodbye I've ever seen in my life. Because I always tell everyone, all right, we're done. See you later. And then I get the whole new podcast after that. I just keep talking.
Every time.
And actually, it gets better.
Hey, my man Bernie. If Bernie wasn't telling me, "Hey man, we're gonna be respectful for everybody's time. We're gonna cut it now." If he didn't say that, we would just keep going.
Yeah, that's what I do until I can see the person like looking at it like, "What's going on?"
Yeah,
no, I try to keep it an hour like when I have guests because people have lives or whatever. But yeah, especially when I be drinking, I be
chatty, man.
Just chatting away, you know what I mean? I start talking about stuff like, what do you like to eat? I like to eat. I'm kind of
I like
hungry.
everything. I like a tour of Italy from Olive Garden, clearly.
Everyone, be sure to check out, tell them your Twitter name again.
Yeah, it's going to be at Amar3455, AMAR3455 on Twitter. Come check me out. Come follow me. I try to follow everybody back. And like I said, Packers, funny stuff, all that kind of good stuff. But yeah, like can't wait for the season, everyone, guys, gents, ladies, everybody. Like, I cannot wait. Like, I think we're going to be up for a great season this year.
It's going to be a fantastic season. And be sure to check out Game on Wisconsin, where your show is coast to coast, right?
Yep, that's right.
It's a much better podcast than this, so you're going to want to check that out.
Don't listen to him. He's lying.
Now we got some outro music. Here we go.
Here we go.
A little AI music.
Oh!
Hey,
Bring it
man,
back.
I'll make a GIF out of it.